There we go.
Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be doing some high-speed off-roading with the new Ford Bronco. First and foremost, though, a huge shout out and thank you to the team at Bilstein for getting me out to the Texas Bronco off-road. It was an absolute blast meeting the whole team, learning a bunch about the shocks that they make. But yeah, in the first part of this video, we're going to be going over kind of like the background with what you're going to be seeing from a driving perspective, and then we'll get straight into the driving, so let's get into it. So for some quick background first and foremost, the first video you're going to see is my first attempt on this trail. Now, since I wasn't familiar with the trail, I was taking things a little bit more on the slow side of things because I wanted to kind of memorize the trail. The second run, I was able to go a little bit faster because, again, I kind of had the trail memorized. But what I want you guys to really pay attention to is just how well the Bronco absorbs all of the bumps and everything, and the body control with it as well. And yeah, let's get right into the off-roading. And then also at the very end of this video, I'm going to kind of give you guys some like final impressions about how the Bronco does at high speeds. So yeah, let's get into the driving and then we'll get into that. So after crawling all day, we're kind of going at a little bit of a higher speed, not really fast, still like 10 miles an hour or less. But we'll actually get some high speed stuff up here in a little bit. But this, at least right here, kind of shows us how the shocks perform a little bit more on kind of, again, higher speed terrain as opposed to the crawling that we've been doing all day. And the biggest thing that you notice with the Bronco is it not only does it smooth things out, but you just don't have any harsh impacts. Even if you mess up and you drive too fast through like a dip or something like that, you're supposed to go a little bit slower through it, still just doesn't impact hard at all, which is a huge positive. So this is where we're going to test out the trail turn assist. Makes kind of like an interesting, you guys can hear the sounds. Interesting. Definitely turns on a dime though, especially for being in four-wheel drive. And if you guys are wondering, I switched over into Baja mode, so it's going to kind of change things up a little bit because it's, obviously meant for the higher speed driving, but again, we're not going terribly fast at this point. We've got our high speed stuff here, or I guess higher speed. Still can't go crazy quick, but we'll at least be able to test things out. These are some of the ruts that we get similar to what we get in Utah, where you get kind of the deep ruts on either side that kind of throw you around on the track. Tons of grip. Yeah, the shocks are doing a really good job at the higher speeds with kind of soaking everything up. I'm actually going to throw it into two-wheel. So I just popped it over into two-wheel drive now. There we go. So we've got all the computers off now. There we go. Now we're having some fun. These corners are pretty tight actually, so it's, shoot, I can't remember if it was, yeah, right. Yeah, I'm impressed with the shocks so far, with just soaking everything up and making it feel comfortable even at, again, these higher speeds. You don't get this with a Wrangler whatsoever. The Wrangler just like, you're gonna be just hitting so hard because of that solid front axle, whereas this, you can actually have some fun with it. The one thing I will say is, just like the Raptor, it takes a second for the turbos to spool up. So left, or, I don't know, we're straight through. And my video is gonna be so chopped up. Yeah, man, just the whole time, just trying to get traction, it's it's fun.
Just drop the camera 1 second. Go, Ford Bronco.
We just had a giant bug hit the windshield. Poor guy. Yeah, this is a lot more fun in two-wheel drive. It definitely steps out a little bit, not a ton, but makes it a little bit more exciting. And now that I have this track kind of memorized, it makes it easier to go through everything. Another thing I will say is the body control with this is great. Feels light too. That's another big plus, is just how light the front end feels, and just the whole vehicle is really tossable. And it gets good grip in two-wheel drive as well. Yeah, this is really impressive, just all the I guess my one complaint as a TRX owner is waiting for the turbos to spool is not exactly fun. I'm used to the immediate power, and so this is kind of interesting. There we go, that was a little fun one. Ooh. There we go. Now to summarize things, first off, with that independent front suspension, the Bronco does absolutely fantastic at high speeds, and it doesn't have that horrible harshness you get with the Wrangler. Now on top of that, with those Bilstein position sensitive shocks, it just makes the ride so much smoother, and you don't get that horrible bottoming out because they have tons of travel. But on top of that, right, with the technology they're using, it really absorbs everything, and you feel it through your butt, okay? That's all you guys need to know. Now, aside from that, my one complaint with the Bronco is the turbocharged power band, and even when you're in the Baja mode, it doesn't keep it in a low enough gear, and so you're constantly waiting for the turbos to spool up, and you just don't have enough power at the right time. And so that's my only complaint, is I wish that they would kind of retune the Baja mode to keep it in a lower gear rather than in a higher gear like it was. You guys probably saw in the video, it's like I punch it and it's like, oh, wait a second, it's got to go down a couple of gears, and then it'll go, rather than just already being in that low gear, so you're constantly in, you know, the peak torque range for that particular engine. That's my only complaint, is it was kind of annoying with that, and it kind of made it a little bit weird going around the trail. But other than that, fantastic at high speeds. A Wrangler would not even be able to keep up. And yeah, that's the cool thing about the Bronco, is it does crazy good at crawling and then also high speeds. You guys will see the crawling videos in the near future. I'm still working on editing those. Those are a little bit of an editing nightmare. But with all that being said, I will see all of you guys in that next video. Oh, and again, a huge shout out and thank you to the team at Bilstein for helping out with this whole event. They're amazing. And okay, now we're officially going. I'll see you guys.